and this week I wanted to share with you a little bit about the art supplies that I love to use. And the reason for that is because I just got an order through from Art to Art, which is where I order most of my art supplies from. And the reason for this box and this quite large order of supplies is because I am at the stage in my creative process where I'm about to start a whole new body of work. What I've done is I've gone through my studio and I've checked and seen what kind of things are empty, what things are broken, not usable, brushes need to be replaced, all those sorts of things. And I've done a big order that will hopefully see me through for quite a while. So let me share with you some of my favorite things. Okay, so I'm just going to do a bit of an unboxing here and open up this box of goodies. Okay. Nicely packaged up. Okay. So the box is opened and I'm going to run through the things with you. So let's start with brushes. So I really love Taklon flat brushes. These are quite silky. These are they're called Royal Langnickel. That's the brand, and they come in 1 inch, 2 inch and 3 inch. And these are great for when I'm doing bigger paintings. And this is an angular set as well. So big flat brushes, favorite brand, favorite kind of material, which is the Taklon. Over here, I've got some smaller brushes, just a mixture of sizes. This is a value pack from Princeton, and I find these are really good all-purpose brushes. I use them with both acrylic and watercolor. So I just stocked up on those. And I've also got a couple of new Princeton Catalyst tools because mine tend to get a lot of love, let's just say, and I've ordered just a mini blade, which I often use as a palette knife to mix paint, and this one here to create texture and etch into heavy bodied paint. So I love these. You can also do great things with just stuff that you have around the house. So if you have combs and things like skewers, you can do all sorts of things, but I do love these tools. Okay. I've also got a couple of foam rollers here. These are very inexpensive and they're a great way to get paint around a large surface quickly, and they're also good for applying varnish if you don't want to get brush strokes. So they're a different kind of application method. So there's all the brushes, I think. Let's see. Oh, I've also got some sponges here because I am thinking about putting some stencil work into some of my pieces. So I have just stocked up on some acrylic ink. So I've got two different brands here because different colors that I like. So I've got some Daler Rowney and I've also got the Amsterdam brand. So most of my inks were looking pretty sad, used up, empty, so I've done a nice restock of inks, and I use both watercolor and ink. I love the way that ink is, it's so vibrant. I think I've ordered some more. I'm just trying to work out where they are. Not sure. So we've got Process Magenta, I've got some dark green. What's this one? This must be Payne's Grey. Yeah, Payne's Grey, because I love Payne's Grey. White, which I use a lot. I mix white into my watercolors when I want to make more opaque versions. This is called Warm Grey, and one of the participants in my online classes used this and I thought it was gorgeous, so I had to order it. So thanks for people that share with me what they're using so I can get some ideas. And this is Burnt Sienna, so a nice mixture of colours there. And moving on to fluid paint. One of the things that I've noticed recently is that I am enjoying using more fluid paint in my work. So I'm only using a little bit of heavy bodied paint, and I'm using a lot of quite thin fluid layers. So this is the paint that I'm actually using up out of what I buy. I've got plenty of heavy bodied paint still in the studio, but I felt like I needed to top up, and these are some of my favorite colors: Payne's Grey, Burnt Sienna, and this one is Australian Olive Green, which I haven't tried before, so this is something new. I have chosen these colors because I am thinking already about what kind of color palette I'm going to use in my next series of work, and I'm planning on bringing in some more greens and mixing them up with the earthy sort of terracotta, rust, peachy colors that I have been using, and just adding in some more greens and some more blues as well. So when I did this order, I was keeping that in mind. I'd already brainstormed and made some decisions about the next body of work that I'm going to create. And you're going to see the color palette that I'm thinking of in some of these supplies. So I ordered some more Neo Color 2 wax crayons, or watercolor. They're a combination of watercolor with some wax in them. They are water soluble. They're hard to describe because they're water soluble, but they're also sort of waxy as well. It doesn't make any sense because they dissolve in water, but then they also resist too in some circumstances. Magic little things, really. So you're going to see here a range of colors. So you can see I've picked up on the blues and the greens and those earthy colors that I was talking about. So this is effectively where I'm heading in the next series. And just a quick one to let you know, Payne's Grey, what's this? Flesh, cinnamon, beige, indigo, and dark green. So they're the colours that I'm working on. Whew, it's like Christmas here. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you my splurge items. I particularly love golden heavy-bodied paint. I haven't quite found a brand of heavy-bodied paint that's Australian that I feel has the same silky texture as the golden, or the creaminess of the golden paint. So I have purchased two of my favourite colours in the golden brand, and they are Anthracnone Blue and Titan Mars Pale. And I've been using this Titan Mars Pale a lot. Now I could mix a colour like this, but it's so handy for me because I use a lot of peachy, sort of this kind of colour in my work. It's so handy for me to have a mixed colour that I love so much, and it's rare. Most of the mixed, sort of pre-mixed colours, so when I say a pre-mixed colour, this has got multiple pigments in it. It is a mix of colours, and most of these I don't enjoy. I tend to buy single pigment colours where I can, but I like this one. And it's handy, and it creates a bit of efficiency in the way that I work. Now, I use paint pens in my work, mostly in my watercolor work and the pieces that I do on paper. And I have to admit, I can be a bit rough with them, and I find that I do need to replace them quite often. So if I'm starting a new series of work, often I will just order a few new pens, and I have got one here in ivory, one in white, and one in gold. It's just nice to have everything there that's actually working, because the amount of times that I go to create things and grab a pen, and this, you see it in my online classes, shaking them, trying to get them going because I haven't replaced them in a while. So I'm trying to set myself up for success here in a way, and really thinking about what I need and how I can make sure that I have it all so that I can focus on creating and not be having to run off to the art shop. Okay. So I've also bought some new wooden panels, and I have been enjoying working on wood so much lately that I am considering doing much more wood-based work than canvas over the next sort of 6 months or so. So I've stocked up, I think these are basically an A3 size, and I thought that the A3 might be good because when I finish these pieces, it will be easy for me to photograph or scan them to turn them into prints. So I thought if I stick with A3 size, it's going to be quite versatile. So I've got a whole load of these. I think there's another box somewhere. So these are the main substrate that I'm going to be working on. They are a cradled wooden panel, so they're ready to hang at the back. Really nice surface. They're made from pine, these ones. And I've ordered some big ones as well. So you're going to see quite a lot of these in my work over the next few months. It's like a never-ending box here. I've got some palette paper. I do find palette paper very handy to have, and I tend to buy up different sizes. This is A3 size, A4 size. You can use palette paper with all different kinds of paint. So I use it for watercolor, oil paint, and acrylic paint. And I always make sure I have a few of these in the studio just to make it easy to access my paints. My favorite kind of paper. If you've taken any of my online classes, you will probably be familiar with this paper now. It is Canson Heritage Cold Press 300 GSM, and this is the paper that I use now for pretty much all of my watercolor and mixed media paintings on paper. Sometimes I buy it in A4 pads, A3 pads, or even on larger sheets or rolls, depending on what's on special and what kind of deal I can get. So the rest of the box is filled with a couple more of these boards. So I ordered 5 of those to get started on. I have another big box that came through, and that has larger wooden panels in it. So I'm not going to unbox that because I want to keep them packaged up nice and safe, because they're all wrapped in bubble wrap to protect them until I actually need them. Thanks everyone. I hope that you enjoyed this little unboxing, and what I'm going to do is list all of the supplies that I've shown you here today in case you're curious and want to find out more about the products. Other than that, I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in, and if you are enjoying this video vlog style format, leave a comment and let me know, and even you can make some suggestions around the types of videos that you would like to see.